Alright, so here's the deal. The 2026 CR-V, Forester, and CX-5 aren't in showrooms yet, but I've seen enough to know these three are about to make things real interesting for anyone shopping for a compact SUV. Hey guys, this is Scott from CarlandTV, and it's time to slide into the driver's seat, cause today, I'm breaking down what Honda, Subaru, and Mazda are cooking up for 2026, and which one looks like the smartest buy before they even hit the lot. But first, do me a quick favor. Tap that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. It ain't required, but those clicks keep this thing rolling and make it easier for me to keep dropping solid car content straight to your screen. Now let's get back into it. Sticker shock or smart buy? So let's talk money first, because that's usually where the conversation starts. The 2026 Honda CR-V is sitting with an MSRP that runs from about 32 grand to just under 37, depending on which trim you're eyeballing. That's for the gas-only models. If you want the hybrids, you're looking at the Sport, Sport L, or Sport Touring, and those will climb higher. Honda knows folks are willing to pay a little more for that efficiency. Now Subaru's Forester is lined up to start a touch lower, right around 31 grand for the base trim. But if you want the fully loaded touring model, or the off-road wilderness, you're closer to 40 or 43 grand. Subaru's betting on that loyal fan base who love all-wheel drive and a boxy, practical cabin. Mazda's a little different story. The new CX-5 hasn't hit the market yet, and they haven't given us a hard sticker price. But let's be honest, with the redesign and the way Mazda's been pushing upscale, it's not going to undercut Honda or Subaru by much. You'll probably see it landing mid-30s to low 40s, especially if you want the nicer trims with that massive touchscreen and fancy interior. So what does that mean for buyers? If you're counting every dollar, the Forester sneaks in as the lowest starting point. But the CR-V stays right in the sweet spot, and the Mazda's probably going to push the premium card. Damn, it's shaping up like a tight money game in this segment. Engines and everyday drive. Now let's pop the hood on these three because this is where buyers start asking, how do they drive? The 2026 CR-V is sticking with its 1.5-liter Turbo 4. It's pushing 190 horsepower, which is decent, but here's the catch. It's paired with a CVT. And let me tell you, that transmission is what gets people making faces. Smooth enough for cruising, sure, but when you step on it, it drones and doesn't give you that satisfying kick. 0 to 60 in just over 8 seconds means it's not quick, but it's not a slug either. The Subaru Forester, well, Subaru keeps doing Subaru things. You've got a 2.5-liter flat 4 making 180 horsepower. It's naturally aspirated, so no turbo punch, and it's tied to, you guessed it, another CVT. Subaru tunes it more for comfort than speed, so it feels relaxed around town. The Wilderness trim gets some revised gearing and a transmission cooler, but even then, it's not going to win a drag race. It's a steady, dependable setup that gets you where you're going, even if you're hauling up a muddy trail. Mazda's CX-5 is kind of the oddball here. For 2026, it's carrying over the same 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4 they've been running for years. That gives you 187 horsepower and 185 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 6-speed automatic, it feels more traditional. Mazda's leaning on handling and driving feel to sell it, even though this engine is showing its age. No hybrid yet, which hurts, but it's coming in 2027. So yeah, none of these are rockets, but they all serve a different kind of driver. Hybrid edge, or falling behind. Here's where I really start paying attention, because buyers these days want to know who's saving gas and who's just burning it. I've been looking at the 2026 CR-V lineup, and if you ask me, Honda's got the edge here. They're not just offering hybrids as an afterthought. The Sport, Sport L, and Sport Touring trims are all hybrid only, and that setup gives you more power and way better fuel economy than the regular gas CR-V. I like that Honda's not shying away from making hybrid the headline, because that's where the market's headed. Now Subaru's Forester is hanging back a little. Every 2026 model is still rocking the flat 4 gas engine. It's not terrible, but it's not exactly exciting or efficient either. Subaru fans are loyal, and I get that. But with Toyota making the RAV4 all-hybrid and Honda leaning hard into it, I think Subaru waiting until later for a hybrid hurts them. Folks are going to ask, why am I paying nearly 40 grand for 30 miles per gallon when the other guy's giving me 40 mpg? And then you've got Mazda. The CX-5 looks sharp, feels upscale, but it's stuck with the same 2.5-liter gas motor for now. Mazda admits a hybrid's coming, but not until 2027. That's a whole year late in this game. I'll be straight with you, that's a miss. So, if fuel savings and future-proofing matter, Honda's ahead. Subaru's holding steady. Mazda's dragging its feet. Cabin comfort. When folks climb inside an SUV, that's usually when I can tell if they're sold or not. The CR-V, for example, has always been a crowd pleaser, and the 2026 model keeps that streak going. Honda gave every trim a cleaner dash with a 9-inch screen in the middle, and the EXL even gets a full digital gauge cluster. Rear seat legroom is where the CR-V shines, though. I've had families sit back there and instantly go, wow, this feels roomy. If you're hauling kids or taller passengers, the CR-V makes them comfortable without squeezing cargo space too much. Now, Subaru plays a different card. The Forester's cabin feels bright and airy thanks to those big windows and that upright design. You sit high, visibility's killer, and it just feels easy to live with. Plus, the rear seats recline, and the cargo space is seriously impressive. Subaru also spruced up materials in the newer trims, and I like the water-repellent leatherette you get in the Sport and Wilderness. That's handy when you've got dogs or muddy gear. Mazda, though, is chasing a premium vibe. The 2026 CX-5 is going all in with sleek styling, big digital screens, and a dual-tone cabin that looks more luxurious than mainstream. The longer wheelbase means more legroom in the back, and that giant 15.6-inch touchscreen will turn heads. It feels more like something you'd see in a Lexus or Audi, not a Mazda. If comfort is your deciding factor, Honda nails practicality, Subaru gives you space, and Mazda brings the wow factor. Tech and toys that matter. Whenever I walk buyers through a new SUV, the first thing they mess with is the screen. Honda must have caught on, because for 2026, every CR-V trim now gets a 9-inch touchscreen. That's bigger than what it had last year, and it comes standard with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Throw in the wireless charging pad and rear USB-C ports, and it's clear Honda wanted to modernize things. On the EXL, you also get a crisp 10.2-inch digital gauge cluster, which looks sharp and makes the cabin feel more upscale. Subaru's Forester leans into a different approach. Starting mid-trim and up, you get that 11.6-inch tablet-style touchscreen front and center. It's vertical, kind of like what Ram trucks use, and it fits the cabin's rugged vibe. It's also wireless for CarPlay and Android Auto, plus you've got the charging pad. Subaru didn't reinvent the wheel here, but it's practical tech that just works. Now Mazda went bold. The 2026 CX-5 offers a massive 15.6-inch touchscreen, the biggest they've ever put in a car. It runs Google built-in, which means you've got Google Maps, Assistant, and apps right out of the box. Standard models get a smaller 12.9-inch screen, but even that looks solid. Add in the fully digital instrument cluster, and you can see Mazda's really trying to make this feel like a premium SUV. Between the three, Honda's tech is straightforward, Subaru keeps it rugged, and Mazda aims to impress. Depends on whether you want simple, useful, or flashy. Utility and adventure. When folks ask me about SUVs, it usually comes down to two questions. Can it haul all my junk, and can it get me where I need to go without sweating? The CR-V's always been a safe bet there. You've got close to 39 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats, and that's more than enough for groceries, sports gear, or a weekend trip. Drop the seats flat, and you're looking at over 75 cubes. Honda even gave the 2026 models better traction management in AWD trims. So if you hit a muddy trail or slick road, it feels a little more confident than before. Now, Subaru. This is their bread and butter. The Forester's got one of the roomiest cargo areas in its class, with up to 75 cubic feet when you fold the seats. Add in those tall windows, the roof rails, and standard all-wheel drive, and you've got an SUV that feels built for mountain trips or hauling the dogs to the lake. The Wilderness trim cranks it up with 9.3 inches of clearance, all-terrain tires, and beefed-up suspension. That thing's not just for show. You can take it down a trail and actually use it. Mazda plays a different card. The CX-5's new stretched body means more space in the back, so loading luggage or strollers is easier than before. But make no mistake, Mazda's leaning more to city than trail here. It looks sharp pulling up to a restaurant, not crawling over rocks. So yeah, Honda's balanced, Subaru's adventure-ready, and Mazda's leaning upscale, reliability, and resale. When it comes down to it, most folks I deal with don't care who's got the flashiest touchscreen or the biggest wheels once the honeymoon phase is over. They care about which SUV is going to start every morning, which one won't bleed them dry at the repair shop, and which one still holds its value when it's time to trade. That's where we separate the good from the great. Honda's CR-V has built its name on this stuff. The 2026 lineup keeps it simple and smart with proven drivetrains, and the hybrid trims especially make sense if you're looking long-term. You get better mileage, fewer trips to the pump, and a strong history of Honda reliability. Resale on CR-Vs is consistently strong. I've taken them back in on trade after 3 or 4 years, and they still pull numbers that surprise people. Subaru's Forester is another steady performer. Subaru owners are some of the most loyal folks out there, and it's not by accident. The Forester is built tough, has all-wheel drive standard, and in snowy states, these things are gold. They hold value really well in the right markets. That said, Subaru dragging their feet on hybrids puts them behind the curve, and I think that's going to catch up with them over time. Mazda's CX-5 looks sharp and feels premium, but I'll be honest, it's a question mark until that hybrid shows up in 2027. Resale has been solid, but not at the level of Honda or Subaru, and it doesn't have the same reputation for bulletproof reliability. So here's my verdict. If you want the best mix of resale, reliability, and peace of mind, the 2026 Honda CR-V takes the win. Subaru's a close second for space and rugged appeal. Mazda's stylish, but it's playing catch-up.